You are watching CycleCruza's all-in-one motorcycle channel. Subscribe today.
I'm having a tough decision here. Which bike should I take out for this MotoVlog? The Blade or the Baby Blade? Baby Blade or the Blade? Both of them are awesome bikes. Which one? Shit. CBR1000rr or the BMW S1000rr. Which bike should you get? Many of you guys have asked me that question. And I'll tell you guys, I had the same dilemma. You know, when I was thinking about buying a liter bike. Before I bought my liter bike. And I tell you, I'm going to give you the pros and cons of each bike. And I have not ridden the BMW S1000rr, okay? So I have no experience on that bike besides sitting on that bike in a dealership. But I can still give pros and cons on that bike without even having ridden that bike. Now, first off, right off the bat, BMW, it's a Euro bike. So you know parts are not going to be easily available like it is with Honda. Honda, you can get parts easy and they're inexpensive. You can get them all on over the internet, eBay. You're not going to have a problem getting a Honda part, period. And the parts are going to be a lot less expensive than BMW's parts. And also dealer network availability. As you guys know, with Honda dealers, they're everywhere. You know, everybody should have at least a Honda Power Sports dealer at least within 30 minutes to an hour of you, unless you live way out the bumfuck country somewhere. You know there's going to be a Honda Power Sports dealer somewhere near you or not far. BMW, their network is not as strong as Honda, as you guys know. And another concern of mine is reliability. That's like number one on my list because I'd rather be riding than fixing. And with Hondas, you know you're getting that reliability factor. You know you're not going to have to, if you just keep up with the basic maintenance on the bike, they'll last forever and you won't have any problems. Now with BMW, they can be sketchy. You know, I've been on the forums, on YouTube. I see people that have had engine problems with the BMW S1000rr, people that have had computer problems. And BMW, they're funny about, honoring their warranty. At least that's what a couple of guys have said before that had engine problems with their BMW S1000rr and didn't want to fix a $4,000 problem. And we're talking about new bikes that were purchased, not used bikes. So, that had me, I was kind of worried about that. And guys, a lot of times if you have to get your bike fixed too, if you take it to the BMW dealer, so a lot of times you may have to wait for a part, and it's just like I said, that's downtime for you that where you could have been riding your Honda had you bought the Honda. And I didn't want to deal with that bullshit, and but as far as speed wise, the BMW S1000rr is faster on the top end, but as far as low and mid-range power, I believe the Honda CBR1000rr, or at least the 2008 and newer Fireblades, I believe they do have more low-end and mid-range power. Here on the streets, what you want is the low and mid-range power, man. So unless you're one of the high-speed junkies where you're on the highway and you're gunning it, trying to get 200 miles per hour in or something, if you're one of those guys, then yeah, you probably want to get a you know, a bike that has good top end power. But, you know, for me, that's not me. I'm more of a guy that's probably, you know, 120 miles per hour or less. You know, really I shouldn't be doing, you know, I should be doing 120, but I don't do it that often. And like I said, I definitely don't be doing that shit around any corners or turns. If I do it, it's on the open highway or something where I light up the throttle, which I don't recommend. But like I said, it's hard not to speed when you have a super bike and a super sport, which I have a 600 and this 1000. But yeah, reliability was the main factor for me. Why I chose the CBR1000rr. You know, even with the oil burning issues that some of these bikes had, you know, in the early, you know, 2008, 9, and 10 years, it's still the bike. As long as you put oil in it, the bike still ran fine. So it's not like you had your bike, you know, went out on you. Unlike BMW, where they've had actual engine problems where the engine blew up on new bikes, and or the computer problems. And that brings up another issue, and another reason why I chose the Fireblade over the BMW was the electronic rider aids bullshit. I'm not for it. I know some of you guys are for the electronic rider aids, and that's fine, man. To each his own. I'm not for it. I believe it should be all about rider skill and not relying on electronics. You know, we're not MotoGP stars, so really we should be pushing it anyhow and having to rely on electronic rider aids. And what if the electronic rider aids fail and you're trying to push it a little bit and, you know, you end up crashing? I don't put all my faith in electronics, man. Electronics will fail. And, you know, and that's one thing I really appreciate with Honda bikes is they don't have all the electronic bullshit. So you're not going to have those electrical problems that you get with some of the other bikes that has all the electronic rider aids. And so, you know, that was one big reason why I went with the Honda as well. And, you know, looks-wise, I've always loved the BMW, the asymmetrical design of the headlight and the bike. I think it looks awesome, man. I think BMW makes awesome designs. I didn't really care for the Honda Fireblade's looks at first, but since I've owned the bike, I've really come to appreciate it. I think it looks awesome now. But looks are subjective, and like I said, once you throw a leg over your bike and you ride, you know, it's all about the riding experience. I mean, who gives a shit? You can't look at the bike while you're riding on it. So, but as far as feel, you know, I have not ridden the BMW S1000rr, but I'll tell you, sitting on the bike, it doesn't feel as good as sitting on this Honda CBR1000rr. This bike, like I told you guys in that video, MotoVlog I did a while back, it feels like a 250 to me, man. It feels, you feel connected with the bike and the road. And the flickability is awesome on this bike, man. The suspension is awesome. You just feel really confident on this bike, you know, like I do on my CBR1000rr. You know, it doesn't feel like I'm riding, you know, a big bike or anything. If this bike feels really small, and it's very confidence inspiring, and it just, soon as my very first time I jumped on this bike, man, it was like I've ridden this bike a long time. It just, I felt really good on it. It didn't feel like a foreign bike to me at all. It just feels awesome. I love it. And when I sat on the BMW S1000rr, I just didn't get that feeling like I do on this bike. And you know, a lot of guys will test to the flickability on this bike. This bike handles very light. You know, a stock form, it only weighs 441 pounds stock. That's with the stock pipe on. As you guys know, I have the Hyperflow pipe on, and that reduced it by a good 6 pounds. I'm at like, 436 pounds or so. 435 pounds. And so it's really only about 30 pounds heavier than my 600rr. And But yeah, this bike, it feels, man, it feels light, it's powerful, it's smooth. And you know, at first, when I first rode this bike for the very first time, I thought it was kind of boring at first with the stock pipe because I couldn't hear shit, man. It just seemed like a scooter or something because it was so damn quiet. I mean, it was powerful, but it felt like an electric engine because it was just so freaking quiet. But man, ever since I put this Hyperflow pipe on, woo! This bike is just, oh, it's sex, man. I love it. The sound is, I love the sound on this bike more than I do with my 600rr with the Two Brothers pipe on. This one has a deeper bass to it. It's beautiful. But yeah, the Beamer, you know, what can I say, man? It just, I don't trust reliability. The bike I don't feel as connected sitting on that bike as I do on this bike, you know. And like I said, the dealer network availability it's not as good as Honda. Parts availability, not as good as Honda. Parts are more expensive. As far as insurance, I checked insurance. Insurance is actually cheaper on the BMW S1000rr than it is on this bike. Go figure. Not by much, by like $20 or $30 a year. But still, I was kind of shocked, you know. But because I guess, you know, not a lot of people have those bikes out here, and at least maybe here in Ohio. And maybe that could be the reason for the cheaper insurance price. But yeah. So Honda CBR1000rr. I love my bike so far. I tell you, it's been absolutely beautiful. I have not burned one drop of oil on this bike. So for those of you guys that are concerned with that, you know, I have not had a problem, which it was a big concern for me. And that's why I didn't buy the Fireblade last year. But I've been monitoring my bike, and not one single drop of oil has disappeared from this bike. And ever since I put in the Shell Rotilla T65W40 like I use in my CBR1000rr, my fuel efficiency has gone up. You know, I've gained my last tank, full tank, with the, you know, the oil change that I did a while back. Very full tank with that oil, 42 miles per gallon, compared to 39 with whatever they had in this bike originally. And as you guys know, I bought this bike with 0 miles, brand new. And but it's an awesome bike, man. Smooth, flickable, feels light, powerful, more power than you will ever need for the streets. And so really it all comes down to what you really want. You know, like I said, for practicality wise, the Honda really is where it's at, you know. But if you want that exotic bike, something different on the streets, you know, something with that high top end power, then get the BMW S1000rr, you know. Try to test ride both bikes if you can. But I tell you, probably like riding this bike better than that, as far as the I don't know, just the feeling of the bike. But it's you know, it's all rider preferences, you know. It's just, you know, my riding preferences are not going to be the same as a lot of other people. So it's just, you have to figure it out on your own, weigh the pros and cons for yourself. But I tell you, as far as price wise, best bang for your buck, it's going to be the Fireblade, guys. Most definitely. The Fireblade, man, if I told you guys how much I paid for this bike, you slap your mama. The price I paid for this bike is cheaper than a lot of you guys that are buying these 600s, brand new. The prices you're paying up. I'm not going to tell you how much I paid for this bike, because you guys will probably be pissed off and kind of jealous that I got such a cheap price on this sick bike. But hey guys, that's all I have for you, man. So, but for those of you that want to see more of my videos, I have, go to my website, CycleCruza.com, click on the menu, My Videos, and I have a playlist of, of all different categories. And maybe you'll find a video that you're looking for that can be helpful for you. So hey, go check that out. But until next time,
I'll catch you guys later. Deuces!
Fireblade, baby! Love this bike, man. Yeah! Yeah! Love that shit!
Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe.
And it's time for CycleCruza's recommended videos.
Links are in the info section of this video. Are you tired of those uncomfortable stock levers on your bike? You want something more comfortable? Well, hey, you might want to check out my hot install Shorty levers and get you a pair. Wouldn't you love to ride around on your motorcycle with a nice, comfortable hoodie, but yet still have the CE-approved armor protection? Well, hey guys, I have the solution for you. Check out part 1 of my Armored Hoodie review. Also check out part 2 of my Armored Hoodie review, where I do a road test and let you know if this Armored Hoodie is a real winner on the streets. Are you looking for a pair of sick leather gauntlet gloves, but you don't want to pay a sick high price? You might want to check out my review on the Scorpion Guardian gloves. Get a chance, like me at facebook.com/CycleCruza1 for new updates and to browse my video library. Hey, I'm on Instagram now. CycleCruza sport bike themed apparel at CycleCruza.com.
CycleCruza.com.
If you get a chance, check out my other channel, CycleCruza MotoVlogs, where I discuss anything and everything, not just motorcycle shit.